Imagine a city night, alive with noise, car horns blaring, neon lights flickering, the air thick with dreams and desperation. Now picture this, a girl, barely a shadow on the sidewalk, her hands full of flowers, her eyes hiding a secret heavier than she can carry. What if those flowers weren't just petals and stems? What if they were her lifeline and her cage? Welcome to Dreamer's Destiny, where every story is a spark waiting to ignite. Tonight, we're diving into a tale you won't forget. A chance meeting, a hidden truth, a fight that could break her or set her free. When the busiest man on earth crosses paths with a girl the world ignored, what happens next? Will it shatter her dreams or rewrite her destiny? Stick around. This one's gonna leave you speechless. Elon Musk pushed open the heavy glass door of his office, the buzz of phones and voices fading behind him. He didn't tell anyone he was leaving. No assistants trailing him, no security at his side, just him, stepping into the cool evening air. His shoulders slumped a little, like the weight of 1,000 emails, and impossible deadlines was pressing down harder than usual. He needed to breathe, to think. The man who dreamed of Mars felt trapped on Earth tonight, lost in his own head. The city roared around him as he walked. Cars honked, their headlights slicing through the dusk. People rushed past, heads down, caught in their own worlds. The air smelled of exhaust and street food, hot dogs and pretzels mixing with the faint sting of gasoline. Neon signs blinked above him, casting a glow on the cracked sidewalks. Elon pulled his jacket tighter, his steps slow and aimless. For once, he wasn't the guy everyone stared at. He was just a shadow in the crowd, blending into the hum of Los Angeles. His mind flickered back to a memory. Years ago, a skinny kid with big ideas, sitting alone with a book, dreaming of things no one else believed in. The noise of the city faded as that thought lingered. He turned a corner, his shoes scuffing against the pavement, when something stopped him cold. There she was, a young black girl, maybe 12 or 13, sitting cross-legged on a thin blanket spread over the sidewalk. Her clothes were faded, a gray hoodie with frayed cuffs, jeans with a rip at the knee. Her sneakers were falling apart, the soles peeling like they'd walked 100 miles. A messy ponytail held her hair back, strands sticking out as if she'd tied it in a rush. In front of her sat a beat-up cardboard box stuffed with flowers, bright red roses, sunny daisies, and a few drooping sunflowers, each tied with bits of old ribbon. Next to it, a sign. Handwritten, messy but clear. Help me go to school. Flowers $3 each. Elon stopped. His eyes locked on her. She didn't look up at first, just sat there, quiet, her hands resting on her knees. The crowd flowed around her like water around a rock. People hurried by, their shoes clicking past without a glance. But she didn't move, didn't beg, didn't shout. She just waited, her dark eyes scanning the faces, searching for someone to see her. There was something in the way she sat, still, but strong. Like she'd been knocked down before but wasn't ready to give up. He took a step closer, his shadow falling over her blanket. Her head tilted up slow and careful, meeting his gaze. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The city hummed on, loud and alive, but right there, it felt like the world shrank to just the two of them. "Hey," Elon said, his voice soft, almost lost in the noise. "What's your name?" Her eyes widened, just a flicker. Then so quiet he barely heard it, she said, "Lila." Elon crouched down, the knees of his jeans brushing the dirty pavement. "Lila," he repeated, nodding. "Why flowers?" She hesitated, her fingers tightening around a daisy stem. What would she say? And why did this stranger, this man who could change everything, care enough to ask? Lila's fingers froze on the daisy stem, her breath catching. Elon waited, his eyes steady, but she didn't answer right away. The air between them buzzed with something unspoken. She glanced down, her voice barely a whisper. "I sell them 'cause I have to." Elon tilted his head. "Have to?" She nodded, quick and sharp, like it hurt to say more. "Yeah." Her lips pressed tight, holding something back. He didn't push, just watched her. The crowd kept moving, shoes stomping past, but Lila's world felt small, trapped right there on that blanket. Then it happened. A shadow loomed over them, fast and heavy. A man's voice cut through the noise, rough and loud. "Hey, you again?" Lila flinched, her shoulders hunching. Elon looked up. A guy in a stained jacket towered there, his face red, eyes narrow. He pointed at her box. "I told you last week, move it, this ain't your spot." Lila's hands shook, but she didn't look at him. I'm not hurting anyone," she mumbled. "Not hurting anyone?" the man snapped. "You're blocking my corner. People trip over your junk." He kicked the edge of her blanket, scattering a few flowers. Petals hit the pavement, bright against the gray. Lila gasped, reaching for them, but he stepped closer. "Pack it up, kid. Now!" Elon stood, slow and calm, his shadow stretching over her. "She's not in your way," he said, voice low but firm. The man blinked, sizing him up, then sneered. "Who are you, her babysitter?" He laughed, sharp and mean. "Stay out of it, rich guy." Lila's eyes darted between them, wide with panic. She grabbed her box, pulling it close, but a ribbon slipped loose and roses tumbled out. Her chest heaved. These weren't just flowers. They were her hope. Hours of picking, tying, waiting, crushed under dirty boots. She bit her lip hard, fighting tears. Inside, something burned. She wasn't new to this, people yelling, pushing her away. But tonight, it hit harder. Elon crouched again, picking up a daisy. "How much you lose when this happens?" he asked, quiet. She swallowed. "Everything," she said, voice cracking. "If I don't sell, I don't eat tomorrow." A hint dropped there, something bigger, darker, but she clamped it shut, eyes flicking to the man still glaring. The guy stepped forward, fists tight. "I said move!" Elon didn't flinch. "She stays." His tone was steel now, unshakable. The man hesitated, then spat on the ground and stormed off, muttering curses. But Lila didn't relax. Her hands trembled as she stuffed flowers back in the box. "He'll come back," she whispered, more to herself. "He always does." Her mind raced. Back to nights hiding from him, days losing everything she'd worked for. She was tired. So tired. But giving up. That scared her more. Elon watched her, his jaw tight. "What's chasing you, Lila?" She froze. A horn blared nearby, loud and sudden. Then, a crash. Metal on metal, screeching tires. People screamed, running toward the sound. Lila's head snapped up, her face draining pale. "No," she breathed. "Not now." Lila stumbled toward the crash, her box of flowers forgotten on the pavement. The air smelled sharp, burnt rubber and gasoline. Shouts echoed, loud and chaotic as people crowded the street. A banged-up car sat crumpled against a pole, steam hissing from its hood. She pushed through, her heart hammering, her breath short. Elon followed, steps quick but steady, his eyes on her. "Lila, wait." She didn't hear him. Her sneakers skidded to a stop. There, near the wreck, a woman slumped against the curb, her head in her hands. Lila's knees buckled. "Mom?" she whispered, voice breaking. The woman looked up, tired eyes, messy hair, a cleaner's uniform stained with grease. Blood trickled from a cut on her forehead. "Lila?" her mom rasped, wincing as she tried to stand. "What are you doing here?" Lila dropped beside her, hands shaking as she touched her mom's arm. "You're hurt." "What happened?" "Lost control," her mom muttered, voice thick with pain. Tires blew out. Couldn't stop. She coughed, clutching her side. Lila's chest tightened. This wasn't just a crash. Those tires, they were old, worn thin from months of no repairs. Money they didn't have. Elon stepped closer, scanning the scene. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Lila didn't look at him. Her world shrank to her mom's shallow breathing, the blood on her face, the flowers she'd never sell now. She pressed her palms to the ground, the cold biting her skin. "I can't do this anymore," she said, so soft it barely escaped. Tears stung her eyes hot and heavy. Every night on that sidewalk, every flower she tied, every dollar she saved, it was for this, for them. To keep the lights on, to keep her mom from breaking. Now it was gone. Her hands curled into fists, nails digging into her palms. Her body felt heavy, like the weight of every missed meal, every lost chance was crashing down at once. She was done. "Lila," her mom said, reaching for her, "I'm okay. We'll figure it." "No!" Lila snapped, voice raw. "We won't! It's never enough!" She stood swaying, her legs weak. The crowd blurred around her, faces fading into noise. She wanted to scream, to run, to disappear. Then, a hand on her shoulder. Firm, warm. She turned. Elon stood there, his face calm, but his eyes sharp, like he saw through her. "You're not alone in this," he said, low and steady. She stared, breath hitching. "What?" He pointed to the wreck, then her mom. "This stops now. I'm fixing it." His words hit like a jolt, simple, unshakable. A spark flickered in her chest, small but real. Hope, not loud, not bright, but there. Before she could speak, he pulled out his phone, already dialing. "Yeah, it's me. Get a medic here. And a tow. Now." He hung up, meeting her gaze. "You're not carrying this anymore." Lila's tears fell, silent. For the first time, she didn't feel the weight. But then, footsteps. The man from before, the one with the stained jacket, pushed through the crowd, his glare locked on her. "Told you I'd be back," he snarled. The man in the stained jacket shoved closer, his boots crunching pedals into the pavement. Lila's stomach twisted, tight and cold. The sirens screamed louder now, red lights flashing across the wrecked car where her mom sat, clutching her side. Elon stepped forward, his frame blocking the man's path. "Back off," he said, voice like iron. The man smirked, yellow teeth glinting. "You don't get it, do you?" He jabbed a finger at Lila, his eyes burning. "She owes me, been dodging me for weeks." Lila's breath stopped. Her hands clenched, nails biting skin. "I don't owe you anything," she spat, but her voice shook. The crowd pressed in, buzzing, watching. Her mom groaned, trying to stand, but Lila couldn't move. Her mind raced, dodging him, hiding, running. Every night on that corner he'd been there, lurking, waiting. Elon turned to her, eyes narrowing. "What's he talking about?" She couldn't look at him. Her chest burned, like the truth was clawing its way out. The man laughed, low and ugly. "Tell him, kid. Tell him about the deal." "Shut up," Lila snapped, her voice cracking. She stepped back, her sneaker hitting the curb. Her heart pounded, loud in her ears. The air felt thick, suffocating. She'd kept it buried, deep, dark, locked away, but it was spilling now, unstoppable. "Lila," Elon said, soft but firm. "What deal?" Her lips trembled. She glanced at her mom, pale and bleeding, then at the crushed flowers scattered around her. Tears blurred her vision. "It was months ago," she whispered. "After Dad left, we had nothing. Rent was due and Mom couldn't—" She choked, the words slicing her. "He said he'd pay it. All of it. If I sold for him." Elon's face tightened. "Sold what?" The man grinned wider, leaning in. Flowers ain't all she moves, rich guy. The world tilted. Lila's knees buckled, but she caught herself, fists shaking. Drugs. Small bags tucked under petals, handed off in shadows. She'd hated it. Every second, every lie. But the money kept them alive. Her mom didn't know. No one did. Until now. You forced her? Elon's voice dropped. Dangerous. Forced? The man shrugged. She chose it. Kept coming back. Lila's head snapped up, fury igniting. I didn't choose this, she yelled, voice raw. Her chest heaved, tears streaming. Shame crashed over her, hot, heavy, suffocating. She'd been trapped, drowning in it, thinking there was no way out. But now, standing there, the truth bare and bleeding, something shifted. Her eyes locked on Elon, then her mom. She wasn't that girl anymore. I'm done, she said, loud, trembling but sure. She grabbed the box, smashed it down, flowers and all. Petals flew, bright against the dark. The man lunged, but Elon stepped in fast, shoving him back. You don't touch her, Elon growled. Lila wiped her face, breath ragged. She turned to her mom, then Elon. I'm telling everything, to the cops, right now. Her voice steadied, fierce. She took a step toward the flashing lights, toward freedom, toward a fight she'd finally win. Lila's sneakers hit the pavement fast and hard, her breath burning in her chest. The flashing lights of the cop cars pulsed ahead, red and blue cutting through the dark. She clutched her mom's arm, pulling her along, her voice sharp. Come on! We're ending this! The man in the stained jacket lunged after her, his boots pounding, face twisted with rage. You little rat, he roared. You talk and you're done. His hand shot out, grabbing her hoodie. Fabric ripped, loud and jagged. Lila stumbled, her knees scraping concrete, but she twisted free, scrambling up, staggered, but held ground, eyes blazing. Lila's heart slammed against her ribs. This was it. Everything on the line. If she didn't reach the cops, if this guy stopped her, her mom's crash, her years of hiding, every flower she'd sold would mean nothing. She'd lose it all. Her freedom, her dreams, her chance to breathe. Her legs shook, weak from running, from fear. But her eyes burned, fierce and alive. No more running. Lila's sneakers hit the pavement fast and hard, her breath burning in her chest. The flashing lights of the cop cars pulsed ahead, red and blue cutting through the dark. She clutched her mom's arm, pulling her along, her voice sharp. Come on! We're ending this! The man in the stained jacket lunged after her, his boots pounding, face twisted with rage. You little rat, he roared. You talk and you're done! His hand shot out, grabbing her hoodie. Fabric ripped, loud and jagged. Lila stumbled, her knees scraping concrete, but she twisted free, scrambling up. The man charged again, shoving Elon aside, his hands clawing for Lila. She ducked, darting toward the lights. The crowd parted, shouting, phones flashing, chaos everywhere. Sirens wailed, so close now. Her mom stumbled behind, gasping. Lila, wait! No! Lila yelled, voice raw. He doesn't win! She could feel it, his breath on her neck, his fingers brushing her sleeve. Her chest screamed, lungs on fire. Doubt clawed at her. What if they don't believe me? What if I'm too late? Her foot caught a crack. She tripped, crashing down. Pain shot through her palms, blood streaking the ground. He loomed over her, fist raised. Told you I'd... A cop's voice cut through, sharp as a blade. Freeze! Boots pounded closer, radios crackling. The man froze, eyes wild, then bolted, straight into Elon's tackle. They hit the pavement hard, rolling, fists flying. Lila pushed up, trembling, blood on her hands. She crawled to her mom, pulling her close. Two officers ran up, yanking the man off Elon, cuffs snapping tight. You're done, pal, one growled. Lila's chest heaved, tears mixing with dirt on her face. She turned to the cop, words spilling fast. He made me sell drugs under the flowers for months. I couldn't stop. My mom didn't know. The cop's face softened, nodding. We'll take it from here, kid. Lila sank back, her mom's arms around her, both shaking. Elon limped over, blood on his lip, but his eyes were steady. You did it, he said, voice quiet. She looked up, exhausted, broken, but whole. The weight lifted, years of shame, fear, gone. She'd faced him. She'd won. Her mom squeezed her tight, whispering, I'm proud of you. For the first time, Lila smiled, small but real. The fight was over. The cop cars pulled away, their lights fading into the night, taking the man in the stained jacket with them. Lila sat on the curb, her mom's arm around her, the wrecked car towed off in a groan of metal. The air was quieter now, heavy with exhaust and the faint smell of crushed flowers. Her hands stung, scraped raw from the fall, but she didn't move. She just breathed, slow, deep, free. Elon stood nearby, wiping blood from his lip with his sleeve. His jacket was torn, his face bruised, but he watched her with a calm that felt solid, unshaken. The crowd thinned, leaving only whispers and the hum of the city settling back into itself. Lila's mom brushed a hand over her messy ponytail, her voice soft. It's over, baby. Lila nodded, but her eyes stayed on the pavement. Over. That word echoed inside her, bouncing off every shadow she'd carried. The nights hiding from that man, the weight of those secret bags, the fear that she'd never climb out. It was gone. She'd faced it, fought it, and won. But the cost lingered. Her palms pressed the cold ground, feeling every crack. She'd lost something too, time, innocence, pieces of herself she couldn't name. She looked up at Elon. Why'd you help me? She asked, voice small but steady. He crouched down, meeting her gaze. Because I saw you, he said simply. Not the flowers, not the mess, just you. His words hit soft, like a light breaking through. She'd been invisible so long. Another kid on the street, another shadow no one stopped for. But he had. Her mom squeezed her shoulder, tears shining in her eyes. You're stronger than I ever knew, she whispered. Lila's chest tightened, warm and aching. Stronger. That's what this left her. Not broken, not lost, stronger. She thought back to that first night with the flowers, her shaky hands tying ribbons, dreaming of school. She'd carried that dream through every hit, every fall, and here she was, still standing. Elon stood, pulling out his phone again. School's covered, he said, casual but firm. For you. And your mom's getting help. Job, house, all of it. Lila blinked, her breath catching. A fresh start. Not just a promise. A real one. She got up, slow, her legs wobbly but sure. The city stretched out around her, alive and loud, and for the first time it didn't feel like a cage. She'd lost battles to get here, scars she'd carry forever, but she'd gained something bigger, a chance, a voice, herself. Think about that for a second. A girl who sold flowers to survive, who fought shadows no one else saw. Where did she find that fire? Maybe it's in all of us, waiting for someone to see it. Lila turned to Elon, then her mom, a small smile breaking through. I'm going to make it mean something, she said, quiet but fierce, and in that moment she knew. Even the smallest spark can burn down the dark. And there it is, Lila's story. A spark that burned through the dark. A girl who turned flowers into a fight, who faced shadows and found her light. What did it take to get there? A chance meeting, a brutal truth, and a fire inside her no one could put out. Maybe that's the real magic. Not the ending, but the strength she found along the way. This is Dreamer's Destiny, where every tale reminds us, no dream's too small to change everything. Did Lila's journey hit you hard? Drop a like, share it with someone who needs that spark, and hit subscribe. We've got more stories coming that'll shake your soul. Tell me in the comments, what would you fight for? Thanks for watching. Keep dreaming big, because even the tiniest seed can bloom into something unstoppable. See you next time.